Hey guys and girls, and welcome. Today what I'd like to do is to talk about the 10-year anniversary of the Nintendo Wii and share with you guys my story of how I came to own one. It all began in mid-2006, give or take. We was all excited about the then Nintendo Revolution, and we'd been reading all the magazines, whetting our appetite. Magazines like N-Gamer and Revolution, which would later have to change its name to N-Revolution. I think that was actually due to the case of the Wii getting its name at that point. And of course, official Nintendo magazine. Now I was proper looking forward to getting myself a Wii. And when I decided to pre-order it, it was pretty much getting quite close to the launch. And I went down to, I think it was my local, I can't remember if it was Dixon's or Curry's at the time, I can't remember which one it was. And I put a pre-order down, and they couldn't guarantee that I would get one. So I thought, okay, that's fair enough, I'll chance it, But I thought, it would be worth a shot. And then I later on read that HMV down Oxford Street was planning on selling a 250 unreserved Wiis during a midnight launch. And I thought to myself, ooh, I could try that. I could really give that a go. And of course, I cancelled my pre-order, which I had with Curry's or Dixon's. Again, I can't remember which one. And I thought about going down to I actually started off to think about it at first, because I think I must have heard about it on the Monday on the launch week. It took me till about Wednesday evening actually to finally decide, you know what, I'm going down there. So I got the last train to London, and I headed on over to Oxford Street. I headed on over to HMV Oxford Street. So I had a little look around, and I thought to myself, well, there must be a queue around somewhere, so I know there's probably some diehards going around. And I went round to the side of HMV, just a couple of doors down. There's a small alleyway, and down this alleyway was the back door to HMV, or rather a side entrance or side exit, whichever. And there was a little queue there, so I went down there, and I asked the people that were still awake, because it was about would have been roughly around midnight when I arrived, midnight Wednesday going into Thursday. And I asked, is this the queue for the Nintendo Wii? And they were like, yeah. So I was like, okay then. And I joined the end of the queue, and I prepared myself for the comfort, which I wasn't going to feel, because if you're queuing outside, you're going to be either standing or sitting on the ground. So I took with me a couple of cushions to make myself comfortable. And as the night went on, I attempted to get some sleep, but didn't really work out too well. And I think it must have been about, 2 o'clock in the morning. It started to rain. It wasn't quite heavy at first, but started coming down a little bit, and they had a few people at the front of the queue. I think they'd been there since Tuesday morning, something like that. And one of them, because he was in a tent, he actually lent me his umbrella. So I was like really grateful for that. So at least my top half stayed dry, whereas my legs, because I had them sitting out, was like that. They got a little bit wet, but it wasn't too uncomfortable. It was okay. And that was pretty much how I remained. I mean, I tried to keep myself occupied by playing Super Mario 64 DS. I started a new file on that, and I can't remember how many stars I got, but it got to a point where I was just like, I'm gonna try and get some sleep. But with the rain and the ground, that wasn't happening. And obviously, because I'd got the last train out to London, nobody actually joined until about 6 o'clock that morning, when people slowly started trickling down the alleyway and started to join the queue behind me. And I think this went on for about another hour or so, when it was an hour or 2 hours, something like that. And the side door to HMV opened, and one of the staff members came. I think it was about 2 or 3 actually, thinking about it, and they'd offered us a solution or an alternative to actually just waiting outside for the remainder of what would now be Thursday. What they did, they allowed us to step into the side entrance of HMV, not right into the very store, but just into the side partition. And they took a photo of everybody just to, you know, ensure that you were the one in the queue so that they could identify you easily enough. And they suggested if you wanted to, you could go home and get some sleep, get some rest and what have you, and then come back that evening and make sure that your place is secure to a degree. I think that's pretty much how it went anyway. And at the time, because I think I was on. No, actually, I wasn't the whole day from work. I think I just had a few days off from there. I had myself some facial hair at the time, so I took advantage of that situation actually. So I decided to actually go home that morning and catch up on some well-deserved sleep. Got myself a shower, had myself a shave, put on my favourite hat because it was December, and as it was, you know, it's December cold. So. Yeah, I headed back up to HMV. I think it was about 6 o'clock Thursday evening, give or take. Went down back the side of the alleyway, and let me see. There had been the people at the front. They'd obviously stayed there. They didn't take advantage of like going away and then coming back. But when I got there, the queue size wasn't too bad. I think a lot of other people took advantage of going away. So I come back, and it was about 6-7 o'clock, something like that, and I waited. And the queue at this point, I think it started forming around the front of HMV, and then down the side alleyway. I can't remember exactly which point I'd joined. Well, actually, I can't remember if it might have done actually. But yeah. But they had the identifying that they did. I think, if I remember rightly, they identified us with the pictures they took, obviously. And whilst we were waiting, I can't remember if it was before or after. They actually gave us, believe it or not, guys, they gave us some foil. Now, obviously, this was to keep us warm, keep us dry while we were waiting, and this wasn't any ordinary foil. Now, there is a reason why I've kept this foil, guys. I'm just going to pop that to one side. You see, this foil is specially branded Wii foil. I kid you not. That's the reason why I've kept it. Because if it was ordinary foil, I naturally would have just used it and thrown it away. But because it was like special brand Wii foil, I thought I'd just keep hold of it, because I had my hat on, I had my gloves on, it wasn't too cold for me, so I still kept hold of it at the time. Just put that to one side. And that's pretty much how it was. And whilst we were waiting, a fella came down and he started filming. And he goes by the name of James, and he runs the website WiiUK.net. I'm not sure if that's still up at the moment, but he created a video and uploaded it to YouTube and to his website. And I'm not going to show all of the video, but I'm just going to show little snippets where yours truly was involved in the queue. Take a look at this.
I don't need no 180p HD graphics. I don't need no online vision. What were you smoking? Why didn't you? I don't know.
That was honestly a night I am never ever going to forget. There were even some photos which I will pop somewhere along here. So yeah, so far so good. It was a very, very exciting evening, and I also managed to meet up with a couple of members of Official Nintendo Magazine. I met Chris Scullion and the I can't remember if he was editor at the time or if he was doing something else, but Chandra Nair as well. So they were pretty cool to me, and I still keep in contact with Chris Scullion to this very day. So at least I formed one friendship from that night. And what else happened at that time? I can remember one time, I can't remember, there was this one reporter, she came along and she asked us, you know, all about the Wii and what we thought of the Wii and everything else. And one person, he gave a really, really good explanation and just detailed reasons as to, you know, what the Wii was all about, why he was excited about the Wii and everything. And as a result, he got a Wii branded watch for free, which was really, really cool. And time went on, and finally the clock struck midnight and the doors opened, and we all started to form no, we'd already formed a queue. We all started to roll into the store one by one. In hindsight, it was kind of like a Canadian Black Friday. Yeah, I actually did get that right. I thought I was going to get that wrong. I was going to say Black Monday. But no, it was kind of like a Canadian Black Friday. You know, we just calmly walked into HMV. We didn't, you know, run straight to the counter. Give me my Wii! No, it was nothing like that at all. And we didn't obviously go straight to the counter straight away because they hadn't opened them at that point. Actually, I think they let us in. No, they let us in earlier than midnight. I think it must have been about 11:30 at night, something along those lines. And yeah, because at the back of HMV, or rather, at the when HMV was there, because it isn't there anymore. At the back of HMV was a stage with a screen at the back. And they actually had some special celebrity guests to help promote the Wii. One of them was Nell McAndrew, Ricky Hatton, and Ian Wright. And Ian Wright was actually particularly funny because when he was questioning the person who was at the front of the queue, he was asking him, you know, what he was, you know, looking forward to getting, and he said that he was looking forward to getting Twilight Princess, as were a lot of people, evidently. And I'll never ever forget this. And Ian Wright says, "What's that then? Some sort of fighting game?" And everyone's just like, "What?" And it's like he was corrected to, you know, Twilight Princess being Zelda, and Ian was like, "I don't know, mate. I don't know. It's not my thing." I just kind of thought to myself, why are you there? You know, I get that you're probably there to promote Wii Sports, you know, the boxing element of it, but yeah. Well, there again, it was just Wii Sports, and I think it would have been Ricky Hatton more than promoting the boxing side of it. So yeah, they had the on-stage show, shall we say, with the celebrities demonstrating Wii Sports. Oh, there we go. And they had a countdown to 12 o'clock, I think I remember that much. And finally, we were allowed to go buy a Wii. If I remember rightly, the queue kind of snaked around the back part of HMV and eventually worked its way around to the counters, which were on the far right as you enter the store. And while you were queuing, you could actually sample the Wii. That sounded better in my head. Yeah, you could actually have a little try of Wii Sports and what have you. And I gave it a go because I wanted to find out what it was like. And I played Wii Tennis, and I must admit I was quite impressed with how it works. You know, you just grab the Wii remote, and obviously those of us who know Wii Tennis, you don't have to move around your avatar. You just swing and you keep going. And I was like, ooh, I like this. Looking forward to getting one of these. And finally the time came got myself the Nintendo Wii. I was super chuffed with this. What did I get with it? I think I got myself a pathetic I think it was 256 megabyte fucking SD card to go with it, which proved to be fucking nothing. So I eventually got myself a 1 gigabyte card for this. But yeah, what else did I get with it? I got the Wii Play and spare remote pack, which was really cool. Also got Wii Sports with it. I got Red Steel. Yes, I got Red Steel. I think I got one more game as well. I can't remember what other game I got actually. So I think it may have just been them two actually. Red Steel, Wii Play. And I got myself a spare. What are they called? Classic controller. That's the one. And of course, that would have been a classic controller standard at the time without the prongs on the bottom. So yeah, I got myself. Finally got all that. I can't remember how much that came to. I think it came to about like 300 quid in total, £400, something like that. And I finally got out. I got me a Wii, and they gave us a little Wii goodie bag as well, right here. And this is actually really cool. Let's see what we got in here. They gave us. Yep. This was and this is my wristband that I had to wear. There we go. Nintendo HMV. Or HMV presents Nintendo. What number was I? Oh, that's right. If you can just about see that, guys, I was number 27. So I was quite pleased with that. 27th in the queue. Not too bad. Not number 1, but you know. Anyway, yeah, this little sports bag contained a Wii t-shirt, which I have not actually worn to this day, and I probably will not because, I don't know, it's just a piece of history that, yeah, just want to kind of keep to myself. Well, I say keep to myself, keep as fresh as possible. And it also did come with a Wii balloon as well, but I blew that up and it's since burst. So I don't have that anymore, which I kind of do regret in a rather bizarre way, but you know, it's fine. I still got my t-shirt, got my wristband, so I was quite pleased about that. And it finally came to take this thing home. Now, I didn't actually plan too far ahead, so I didn't actually arrange for a place to stay for the night or anything like that, so I had to get a taxi home. And getting a taxi home from London, say about an hour away, something like that, give or take, perhaps just a little bit more, that was expensive. That was very expensive to get a taxi from London to home, but I finally did it. Got home quite late into the night or early into the morning, whichever you prefer, and I just could not play it. I just had to go to bed. I was just like, fuck it, I'll just go to sleep straight away. I'm not in any hurry to play it. I've got it now, it's fine. I woke up eventually about 9 o'clock in the morning, something like that, and I finally put this baby on. In fact, if I just go to my Wii calendar, you can find out what I did on that very first day. Alright guys, December 2006, this was when the magic happened, and it all started on the 8th. There's my log for that day, the Wii Shop channel for 10 minutes. I think I bought, what did I buy on Wii Shop channel? I got Super Mario 64, played that for an hour and a half. If I remember rightly, I think I did the 16-star run on that, so yeah, I had a tinker around with a few bits and pieces, spent nearly 7 hours on it. And of course my Wii Sports debut at almost 9:20 in the morning. Yeah, as I say, that was roughly when I got up, so that was all good. And of course on the Saturday, got quite a few bronze and silver medals in Wii Play, so that was always good. And got a bit of Donkey Kong going on there, and a bit more Super Mario 64, a bit of Wii Play, 3 hours on that one. On the Sunday, a bit more Super Mario 64 Wii Sports. Finally started off Red Steel, so that was that. So yeah, I think that pretty much was what I bought at the launch. Wii Sports, Wii Play, and Red Steel, which was, you know, going to be enough to serve me for the week anyway. So It's Donkey Kong Country. Got a bit of Bomberman 93 going on there, so I was pretty well served as far as Virtual Console games were concerned. And I've got one more game to go. If I've did I play it on this day? No, I didn't. I only played that for a little less than 2 hours. There we go. Sonic the Hedgehog 1. I don't think I played much of that at all because Virtual Console games, they were the PAL 50 versions, so that's probably why I only spent 7 minutes playing Sonic the Hedgehog. And we got a few messages from other Wii users, if I remember rightly. I think they came from fellow forum buddies on the official Nintendo magazine forums. And of course we got Red Steel over there, a bit more of that, for about half an hour. I actually still need to finish Red Steel. And of course we come full circle, one whole week. Pretty much spent a lot of time playing on the Wii, but of course I would do because it would be fresh and new. So yeah, that's that. So there you go, guys. That was my first experience with my very own Nintendo Wii. And of course over the years, you know, I've gotten grown quite fond of this machine, and I've brought quite a few games for it. And I pretty much have my own personal favourites. You know, I own a lot of Wii games, but this little pile here is basically down to what I have actually played, and I've played enough to warrant them being one of my favourites. So please don't get too upset if your favourite Wii game is not on this pile. Of course, first off, we've got both Wii Sports and Wii Play. I remember a friend of mine saying that these two games right here will be the ones you always come back to. And you know something? He wasn't wrong, because I still do come back to these games from time to time because they are good. They are very good games. A good game which I really like, The House of the Dead Overkill. Of course, this is the special edition version with the free comic book, which I don't think I've read all the way through. So I think I was just more interested in playing the game as well. I've actually got the House of the Dead hand cannon attachment for this as well, which can be quite a bugger to hold, and it weighs down your hand quite a bit. So yeah, that's pretty good. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. This is by far my most favourite version. It makes you work for your win. And on a Sonic note, Sonic Colors. Pretty much Sonic Unleashed without the Nightwolf? Yeah. Without the Hogwolf stages. So yeah, this had to grow on me, but it was good and enjoyable. WarioWare Smooth Moves, because this game pretty much has very, very inventive ways of making you look like a prat. Resident Evil, The Umbrella Chronicles. I think this is a lot better than Darkside Chronicles, mainly because of how the camera handles, and it is such a dark game, and it is so good, so good. That's what the Resident Evil Survivor series wishes they were. You guys may disagree with this. Red Steel and Red Steel 2. I did like Red Steel. I know a lot of people don't like Red Steel for one reason or another, and that's fine, but I liked it. I enjoyed it. I had fun with it. And Red Steel 2, an obvious improvement from Red Steel 1, but both good games for their own reasons. Hello. Knight's Journey into Dreams. No, excuse me, Journey of Dreams. I actually hadn't played the original Knights before this, so I was pretty much. So when I first played this, I enjoyed it, and since playing the original Knights, I can still go back to this, thankfully. Mario Strikers Charged Football, all the love for this game. Mario Kart Wii, I will play this over Mario Kart 8 any day. As broken as this game is fundamentally better than Mario Kart 8. I said it, and I will not take that statement back. Metroid Prime 3, this is the only Metroid Prime that I've actually played through and completed all the way. I played through Metroid Prime 1, I got about halfway through it and just got bored with it. Excuse me. I haven't played through Metroid Prime 2 yet, but number 3 is the only one I played through and completed. Excite Truck. This game is amazing. Amazing. Simplistic, but still so much fun to play. Naturally, Super Mario's Galaxy 1 and 2. These games are phenomenal. I cannot express how good these games are. You just have to play them for yourselves. They are both masterpieces. Although that having been said, I do prefer 2 over 1. Next up is Sin and Punishment, Successor of the Skies. I can't remember if I played this before or after Sin and Punishment 64, but this is a very good game. And to be honest, I still need to finish that, but I have played it quite a bit. It's quite a challenging game actually. And finally, this is actually my favourite Wii game. So out of all of these, this one tops the lot, and that is Korinpa Ball Rolling Maze Game. I love this game. This game shows you that, you know, Wii Motion Plus really kind of isn't needed, because this is quite responsive to the vanilla Wii remote, and I have so much fun with this. I mean, it's more or less like playing with the little wooden labyrinths that you can get from time to time. So yeah, this right here, Korinpa, my favourite Wii game of all time. So that's that, guys. That's my story of how I got my Nintendo Wii, and it's a night I'll never forget. And it's just it's something I wanted to share with you guys. So until next time, take care of yourselves, and thanks for watching.